Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Horse Racing Radar TV with your host, myself, HRT Rich. And of course, we have tremendous Charles Trent on this trifecta Thursday at Gulfstream Park. Charles, man, it feels like a lifetime ago, but man, how were your holidays?
It was good. It was really good. New Year brought in the new year. It was a little chilly here, but that's okay.
Yeah, it works like that every now and then, but not too bad this summer. I mean, it's summer, this winter, it's been kind of summerish in the 40s and stuff like that. Yeah, well, I'm sure we're going to get that cold blast any day now. I was reading a story about how we're in like a weird orbit right now. It happens like once every millennium or something like that. That's sending us this, I don't know, just an oblong path. I don't even remember what I read, but it says it's part of the reason why we're warmer in some places and colder than others. I don't know. I don't pretend to understand. It's not my job. My job is to understand horse racing,
and sometimes we don't understand that.
Yeah, well, that could be a foreign language at times for sure.
Yes.
And yesterday was sort of a foreign language. I could have had both pick fours, but my very next pick, I won the first three legs, had nice prices through, and then my next pick won the fourth leg on the last two. I mean, that's the kind of thing that makes you kind of, think about the third story and, seeing if a parachute will open by the time you get to the ground. Hey, real quick, today, a little bit later on tonight, maybe over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet, you'll find that the free track of the day is Delta Downs. There's a link in the description below. Again, if you're not familiar with the story, if not for Delta Downs, there is no horse racing today. First race at 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Irish Moon is the first pick of the day over there. We're not here to talk about Delta Downs, Charles. We're here to take our talents to South Beach. That's in Florida, right? Have you ever been there, Charles?
Nope, I have not been there. It's on my bucket list.
Gulfstream Park, nice track. I would recommend going there. A good place too to maybe go with your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever. They have a nice shopping area before you go in, some nice restaurants and stuff like that. And then the track, you just kind of walk in, and if you make money at the track, you can lose it all at the casino. In any case, Charles, what are you going to do at race? Yeah, well, maybe you could win some money at the casino first and then go bet it at the track and double up, right? Especially if you're listening to Charles and I. What's going on in race one?
Race one's a 6.5 furlongs. It's a maiden claimer, 16,000. This is going to be pretty simple. Purse is 24. This is just for 3-year-old fillies.
Yeah, a lot of like races like this today too, and oddly, I feel like
it's the new year. They're all, there's no conditions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean, a lot of maidens today, it seems like at Gulfstream.
Yeah.
And then also, I feel like this card has a chance to be kind of chalky. I hope not, but I think it has a chance. In race one, Charles at the distance, the profile of winner, 6.5 furlongs on the dirt. Early speed does best 29% of the time. They go from gate to wire on the lead. A little bit of a rail edge for Fontina. And then from 2 and out is a little bit of an advantage the closer you are to the rail. Looking at our 1,000 simulations, Charles, trying to find some value in simulation odds. That's what we do here. Then based upon that, we want to see which percentage of the horses have a chance to run par or better. You can see here the 2 horse, big shot to run par or better, being 75, the average winning speed figure. We also do 1,000 simulations to get a sense of who will have the lead. And then based upon those simulations, who's likely to have a race pace, the speed, that matches their best efforts. Charles, it sure looks like one of them is a lot faster than the other.
Yeah, that'd be the 7, 70% chance. I totally see it like that too, out in front. When it comes to simulation odds, we got the 2. Look at that. What's that? 1 to 5?
Yeah, just basically free money, it's saying.
Yeah, it's basically, and you got 3 to 1 morning line. That's a big overlay, if you ask me. The 3 at 9 to 1, you got 12 to 1 morning line, so not too bad there either.
Not bad either on that one. As far as our par plus, the 2 and 3 are the only 2, but again, maidens, so limited race schedule, tough to tell. And then Marshmallow Queen has a very strong C-zone, most likely to find the pace to its comfort on the front, nonetheless. Look at this race shape, Charles, early on. The 3 and the 7, they want to show speed. So far, the 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 haven't finished within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line as of yet. 8's making its first start, so you don't know what it has to do or what it brings to the table. Marshmallow Queen is a little bit faster than everybody else, but not a lot faster, but just enough to maybe get a half a length lead as they come to the quarter mile marker. Looks like it needs some late stamina there, though. Charles, the 2-horse, casting that big overlay, is the strongest and also has a 8-point total pace advantage. Charles, how do you see this race playing out?
Yeah, I mean, I think the 7 will go out there winging it, but the question is, can the 7 hang on? And right now, I'm going to say no. I like the 1 itself drops in class. You get the rail gets 18%. You got a first time with Lasix, which you're going to see a lot of that today because the 2-year-olds finally got to turn 3 and they could use Lasix. This horse does have tactical speed, so I think this one will be sitting close and make one good run. The 2 is very dangerous, drops in class, also first time Lasix, ran 3rd last time, tactical speed, and then the 7 is my 3rd choice. The speed of the race, drops in class, back on dirt, of course, gets that first time Lasix, and then a first time starter, the 8. Dam has 2 winners from 3 starters. Totally bred for this, got a solid workout pattern. So it probably should be right there in the mix also.
You're going to start off with a pick 5, huh?
Going for the fences today. That's all I'm doing. Big time fences. Going to start off the new year right. So I'm taking my top 4 picks in this race to my top 2 picks in the second leg. Then in that third leg, I was kind of forced to take a single because there's only 4 horses running. So I'm making a stand there. And then that 4th leg, I'm taking my top 3, and I'm finishing up the 5th leg with my top 4.
All right. I'm going to start off with that 2-horse. Surprisingly right now, though, Charles, looking at the early race odds, the 2-horse is 3-1. So you're getting some value according to our simulation odds. The favorite right now is that 7 at 5-2. I think the 2-horse maybe gets the job done in here. Charles has that total pace advantage. By far the best par number, is going to drop in class. Number 7, Marshmallow Queen, maybe too much early speed for the rest of these. Maybe that's why the horse is taking on the favored status. It is a maiden special weight dropper, has speed, has Lasix. We talked about that yesterday and how putting together early speed that fades at the end. When you give it that Lasix, that fade tends to go away. Miss Athletic, the 3-horse, is my 3rd choice. Another that has that early speed first LASIK angle in its 3rd start after a layoff. And 1 of 2 horses with the par plus score. Finally, the 1-horse Fontina. It's another one that's taking a dip in class here with a pair of maintenance workouts between races. I was thinking about singling up that 2 on a pick 5, but I just went with the 2-3-7 with the 2-7 with the 1-2-3-7-8 because I want to play a pick 4 in the next race. I hate to lose them both, right? Because sometimes when you do that, that's what happens. So there's 1 minute left to race 2. But we both know, and everybody who follows Gulfstream Park knows, there's a little bit of a Charlestown influence down there with post times. So let's do race 2.
Race 2, 1 mile turf. Claiming price of $50,000. Non-winners of 2 lifetime. Purse is $39,000. This is for 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races.
And at a mile on the turf, Charles, the sort of horse that wins as a stalker. Although 22% of the time they go wire to wire. There's a small inside 3 penalty. 4 through 7, a small bonus. 8 and out, those post positions play fair. Once again, what do you see from our 1,000 simulations?
Well, that 3, 90% chance of getting the lead at the quarter pole. I see that to be true too. I think this is the speed of the race. When it comes to simulation odds, we got the 1 at slightly over 2-1, and we have 10-1 morning line. That's a nice little overlay. The 3, 3-1, 10-1 morning line, which is pretty good also. And then that's it. That's what we got.
A whole bunch of them with a chance to score a race speed figure above par. You see here, too, about 5 of them. Pretty strong C zones. The rest might be uncomfortable with this trip, Charles. Pace handicapping, looking at race number 2. A balanced race, though. Should favor speed, though, because you have 6 of the 8 horses, Charles, that prefer to be middle or back. So if you have some early speed, you probably got a good shot to stay there. The 3-horse is one with some early speed, a cartographer. Italian Symphony, too, that 8-horse, a typical closer with some left arrow ability. She'd be more forward than it's accustomed to. Late speed does belong to that 8-horse, Italian Symphony, along with the 1 and the 4, Sunshine. Those 3 the fastest at the end. Looking at our total pace scenario, Charles, the 8-horse, 4 points clear of classic Motown. That one's 6 points clear, so maybe a nice 1-8 exact the box. What do you say?
Well, I mean, I like the 8 a little bit in there. I like the 7 though on top. Ran third last time. Maker gets 16% with 46 plus days of rest. This horse has got that tactical speed to sit and make one move. But I have to admit, the 8 is very dangerous. The trainer gets 25% first time after the claim and also gets 25% first time en route. So, got those combinations right there today. Tactical speed, hot jockey trainer combo in the last 14 days. Then the 3 is my third choice. One last time out, well bet last time. Definitely has the speed. Question is, can he hang on? Trainer gets 15% with first time on turf. And then the 6 is my final choice here. My price horse ran third last time out, has some tactical speed, could sit there third or fourth throughout. Second start after a layoff. And if you go back on my pick 5, I took my top 2 picks in this race.
Looks like they're having some problems at getting him loaded for the first race. So I'm going to go ahead with a Italian Symphony, a top total pace horse by 4 points. Very strong par plus, going long for the first time off the Safi Joseph Jr. claim, making the third start after the layoff. Cartographer, the 3 horse, did run the top last race speed figures, 6 points clear of the next closest horse. It is a track riser coming in from Belterra Park, making its first start on the grass. But looking at that December at Palm Meadows workout, 47 and change on the grass, this is pretty fast. So I think it'll take to the turf. Sunshine Frolic, the 4 horse, improved in both of its starts since its debut. And this one will be coming at the end. And then finally, the 1 horse, Classic Motown, simulation favorite, very consistent performer. And if you look at the internals last time out, ran much better fractions. Charles, we're still waiting for them to get going in race number 1. I think it's going to be a late scratch in there. Yes, the 5 horse, which was trending towards favorite status. Pick 4, 1, 3, 4, 8 with the 5, with the 2, 6, 8, with the 1, 7. Like you, I took a stand in that race in that 4 horse field. Charles, going back to race number 1, neither one of us had the 5, so not a problem. Somehow Amy the Butcher got bet down to 2-1.
What?
Yeah, it was one of the favorites.
And then it gets scratched.
Yeah, is that weird or what?
That's very weird.
Yeah, so now all the money's kind of floating towards the 7 and the 2. Those 2 as your predominant favorites in there. And then the 1, so the 7 is 3-2, the 2 horse is 2-1, the 1 horse is 7-2, and then after that, the 8 horse is 4-1. Everybody else then is above 10-1. In fact, I think all the others, 3 horse 17-1, 23-1 odds, and then you have the 4 horse at 45-1. So just looking for some value, Charles. The 2 horse looks like the play. They don't need any delays at all at that track, Charles, to be behind, right?
No, not at all.
That South Florida weather, that nice, that warm, that comfortable.
Yeah, I think they're lack of days. They're just like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, we'll get to it when we get to it, man, right?
That's what I call Kentucky time out here.
For sure. So while we wait, Charles, again, you can head on over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet to get tonight's Delta Down picks. There's a link in the description down below. And then while you're at it, if you can go over to horseracingtoday.net, we will have some stories up today and tomorrow and probably on Saturday as well. We'll start adding some new content over there. And you can hit the HRT gear. You get 24% off to look great in horse racing attire and also support the show. You have a See You in the Winner's Circle. You can't get that anywhere else, as well as a Horse Racing Today. Anytime I wear this shirt, especially with the black with that logo, get a lot of compliments, Charles. But it's not the man that makes the clothes. No, it's not the clothes that makes the man. It's the man that makes the clothes, right?
Yeah, that's my motto.
Well, it's what my football coach told me. He was absolutely correct, I think. Scary Creations coming in. We had a lot of agreement yesterday early on, Scary, and we were right on a lot of those races. Just didn't put that 4 horse in my pick 4 there that paid a ton of money early on, and then the 5 horse in the late pick 4, which paid a lot of money. And it's just enough to make you scream and shout and turn that out, in the words of Motley Crue. They're actually coming out with a new record, Charles. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, the guitarist says, what the heck is his name? Something 6. John 5, I think his name is.
Yeah.
And man, a guy can play guitar, bro. Let me tell you, if you get a chance to go see Motley Crue, they might record a lot of stuff and play it. I don't know. That's what they say online. But man, that dude's playing the guitar live, and it is really good. In fact, I would encourage you to go look on, if you like that kind of music, to look him up online. And some of the guitar stuff he does is just phenomenal.
I heard that Def Leppard and Journey's going back on tour this year,
along with Steve Miller Band.
Yeah.
And I think Steve Miller, if I remember correctly, somebody in his family line is responsible for creating either the Fender or Les Paul guitars. So he comes from like family of royalty when it comes to that sort of music too.
Mm.
Yeah. And time keeps on ticking, right?
Yeah, and I heard that the Steve Miller Band's going to open up for them. And then some venues, Heart's going to open up for them.
Yeah, so it's going to be like an 80s throwback.
Yeah.
It'll be like in your junior year of high school, Charles.
Junior and senior year, you got it.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember when Hysteria came out. And anyway, they're coming out of the gates right now as we reminisce over nostalgic rock and roll music as they come out of the gates in race number 1 at Gulfstream Park. The 2-horse has gone towards the lead, which is kind of interesting because we thought the 7 would have a good shot. The 7 actually did jump out of the gates pretty sharply and then kind of settled back in. So I'd be curious to see what the fractions are. If the jockey there felt like they were going a little bit too quick, Edgar Zayas. They ran the opening quarter in 22-8, which I don't think it's all that fast. Charles, what do you think?
No, it's okay. It's about average.
Yeah, so they're going through the turn. The 2-horse continues to hold the lead. The 7-horse has decided to come alongside to make it a 2-horse race. The 1-horse now is trying to find its way. This one's coming on pretty good at the end. The 1-horse is going to try to go 3 wide. But it kind of looks to me like this race is between the 2 and the 7 coming down the stretch. The 7 has definitely commanded the lead over the
definitely
2-horse.
Commanded lead is right.
Yeah, the
1 is going to make a chase out of it, but that's about it.
The 1's going to finish 3rd. I mean 2nd. He's definitely going to get by the 2-horse. So it's going to go 7, then the 1, then the 2, and then way back the 3. 7, 1, 2, 3.
Way
so
back.
I got him. I just seem to screw up that trifecta all the time, Charles, in that middle place. 7 was your 7-5 favorite. The 1 was 5-2, and then the 2-horse was 5-2. So the trifecta is not going to pay a whole lot. You're still alive on your pick 5. So hopefully when pick 5 is done, Charles, you'll still be done then too.
Yeah, I hope so. But favorite ain't going to help it too much.
Yeah, I was kind of worried a little bit about the early part of the card being a bit chalky. So
same here.
We'll see how that plays out. Race number 3. What are we doing here? Oh, guess what?
Right.
Another maiden.
Yeah, another maiden. Race number 3. 1 mile. This is for a purse of $89,000. This is for Phillies 3-year-olds.
You have a 1-turn mile here. This is important because they tend to play a little bit more like sprints than they do routes. The speed does hold a little bit better. They only have to go through the turn 1 time. A mile on that dirt course, Charles, in this limited race with only quartet of horses, 4 of them, does favor early speed. 27% of the time they go wire to wire. The rails fair 2 and 3 get a bonus. 4 through 7, a little bit of a penalty. But in a 4-horse field, I don't know how much difference that post position is going to make. I think what could make a difference is how fast you get out of the gate, Charles. And Misenchanted should be the one they have to eventually pass.
Yeah, I mean, 93% chance. Probably going to be the one out in front. But there's still plenty of other horses that will not let that horse get too far away, I don't think. So I don't see it getting too far of a lead. The odds are really going to change tremendously here. Yeah. So I think the 5 is going to go off of what it says, about 2-5. But right now, morning line is even money, but we won't see that at all.
And you're going to see that horse, a big chance to run above par again. Par for this race would be 83 speed figure. It's the only one in that group. Just kind of looking at the numbers here, Charles. If you want speed, it looks like you got to play that 1. Does it play out that way here? Well, the 1 and the 6 so far in this race, they haven't been within 5 lengths of the leader in their lifetime at the winner's circle. But that one horse does have a pretty aggressive early speed advantage, almost 3 lengths over everybody else, Charles. The jockey can simmer that horse down and run some reasonable fractions. I think it will finish within 5 lengths of the leader.
Yeah, but I actually think the 2 is going to go up there with that 1 and keep him in check, keep her in check, I should say.
So they don't get away with easy fractions?
Yeah.
And then as far as the late speed is concerned, that 2 horse, if it can sit right off that break there, could make it difficult for that 5 horse, that easy favorite, according to our simulations, to get the job done. Also scores out as your top total pace horse, that 2 horse, Curlin's Girl. It's the lone E horse in here, Charles, but could get discouraged if it doesn't get the lead. We both singled the 5. Tell me your reasons why.
Well, for first reason is it's a 4-horse field. Have to make a stand, either take all or take the one you think is going to win it. And I think this one is going to win it. I do believe the 1 and the 2 are going to go out there. The 1 is definitely the speed, but the 2 is definitely going to pressure that horse. I really do see that happening. I mean, this 5 has got that tactical speed that could sit there third probably. Trainer gets 23% first time Lasix. Look at the back class on this horse. It's dropping tremendously in class. Todd gets 20% with 46 plus days of rest. Got to go with this one. So the 2 is my second choice. Like I said, has speed, ran second last the last 2 times. Trainer gets 29% with first time Lasix. And then the 6 is my third choice. Horse ran third the last 2 times. Tactical speed, Luis Saez aboard, and of course, first time Lasix. And then, of course, I'm going to round it out there with the 1 finishing 4th. First time Lasix. Jockey upgrade, in my opinion, does fit with this group, but I just don't see this horse hanging on.
I agree with Scary. I think the only bet you can make in this race, if you're going to win bet, is the 1 horse, because it has a chance to get to the lead. And if you ever notice, a lot of times, Rich Strike notwithstanding, horses that are long shots tend to get to the front and steal the races on the lead. And that one has a chance to do it. I singled the 5 in my pick 4 too, Charles. Like you said, either you go with the 2, the 1, and the 6, and you throw the 5 out, or you just play the 5. And I played the 5, Charles, because it has a 13-point last race speed figure advantage over everybody else. That means that one has to regress a lot, or the others have to come up a lot to catch it. And that doesn't include if the horse has any improvement off its last race. It has 4 workouts since that last race, so the horse should continue to be fit. My only question for that one is, how's it going to handle the Gulfstream dirt for the first time? Curlin's Girl, our good friend Chris Parmalu swears that the best handicapping angle in all of horse racing is a maiden that finished second last time. Well, Curlin's Girl is a double, Chris Parmalu. Finished second in its last 2 races and has 3 really good workouts in between starts. Misenchanted, again, this one maybe a little bit too much early speed for a 4-horse field. Getting that first time Lasix, like Scary said, get that speed, get that Lasix, and who knows? Big price, the only price probably in the field. And then Speak Up, well, Charles, there's only 4 horses. Someone has to be 4. So we'll make it the 6th. And the last time I said there's only 4 horses, somebody has to be 4th. You know who won?
It was the one that you said.
Yes. And you know what? Last time you and I were together,
I
screwed you and I helped you at the same time, because I changed one and it did win. Yes. And then I changed another one at it and it won and screwed you.
Yeah. Thanks again.
Yeah. Well, I helped you and I hurt you. So I giveth and I taketh. Race 4, Charles, giveth us.
The race 4.
Give us the details.
Yeah. Race 4, we have a mile and 70 yards. This one's on all-weather track here. Optional claiming of 20,000, purse is 32,000. This is for 4-year-olds and upward, which have never started for a claiming price of 12.5 or less since January the 4th of 22, or a claiming price of 20,000.
So a year ago. Question for you, Charles. Why do they run these weird distances, like a mile and 70 yards, a mile and 40? Why not just make it a mile?
Well, the mile and 70 yards in some tracks, because of the way the turns are, it's better than a mile and 16 most likely. But Gulfstream does both. They do a mile 16th and mile 70. So
then they do a mile. I don't know what they. I
yeah,
don't know if they do a
so
mile on the all weather. So
usually
because that
it's
would
the
put them right
fact
on the
that
turn.
it's how their turns are and the
Mhm.
stretch and everything. That's how they'll do the mile 70s instead of mile 16th or vice versa. But like I said, Gulfstream does both. So no answer there for that track.
Well, on your favorite surface, the Tapeta at Gulfstream Park, where they swore they'd only ride if it rained. This one does favor stalkers. Only 13% of the time they go wire to wire. There's no deal makers or breakers. The post positions are fair, Charles. So a little bit of tactical speed probably goes a little bit more than front end speed. Looks like all of the speed are with the Buffalo girls on the outside.
Yes. That 8 horse at 46% chance of getting the lead. The 7 is got 25% chance, but I say look out for that 6 a little bit. The 6 has got a little bit of that sneaky speed, but most likely the 8 will have the lead at the quarter pole. Simulation odds. We have survey says
1.
Yeah, the 8. Just slightly over an even money, and we have 3.5 to 1 morning line.
So just kind of looking at the numbers, the 8 got a lot of green boxes. You see, when you got a decent C zone, good chance to be on the lead, strong par plus, a little bit of overlay. Those horses might not win, but they tend to be extremely competitive and give them a good shot to win. Our pace handicapping for race number 4, we see a balanced race again. 3 that want to be forward, 4 that want to be back. These 2 Sesame Street horses in the middle, the 2 and the 4, they have some flexibility. If they go too fast, they both can be patient. If they go too slow, they both can say, fellas, we're going to pick up the pace here. Looking at the early speed, Charles, it looks like this one's going to be pretty contentious around the track because there's only an 8-point difference between the top and the bottom. Spin the wheels in the gate, and you can go from first to worst, no problem. Late speed, where you have to make up some of that lost ground. Looks like Tiz Romantic has a pretty good edge over the rest of the field, almost a 1-length lead, about 3/4 of a length. The best dance, the one with the most early speed, going to be right up in there too, Charles. As far as your total pace is concerned, the 6 and the 8 are 6 points clear, so about a length better than the rest of the field. Charles, maybe you got a 6-8 exacta box in there. Charles, do you?
I have it in my mix. It's pretty tough. I like the 2 here. This horse drops in class. Well bet last time. I think this horse has got good tactical speed to make one big run because we have a couple of we have at least 3 horses that have speed. Third start after a layoff, Maker gets 19% with that angle. My second choice is that 6. This horse is going to be more forwardly placed. Probably sitting second, most likely. Ran second last time out. Cuts back in distance, so look out. And then the 4 is my third choice. Second start after a layoff. Got to toss out that last race. If you do, it puts it right in the thick of things. Got some tactical speed, drops in class, so it makes him dangerous. And then that 8 is my final choice here. Has speed, but most likely going to have the lead at the quarter pole. Ran second last time, cuts back in distance, but the question is, can he hang on?
And Scary is pointing out that there's one horse here, Tommy B, at a $200,000 stakes race back here, finished second on the all-weather track over at Turfway Park in its lone all-weather race, and then also popped its best speed figure over there with the 86. So keep an eye on that one. Making its first start after a little bit of a layoff, coming off the bench. They ran okay there, finished second, not too far off. A little tough first effort there. Third, so in the money there, not too bad. Let's see what the workouts look like. A little on the slow side, a little bit quicker over there. Orlando Noda, he seemed like he was really getting it together last year, off to a little bit of a slow start this year. First time Jose riding for him, but it is a new year. Keep an eye on that number back here, Charles. Definitely some back class with this horse and showed some improvement last time. So maybe some of that class comes back today. I like the 6 horse. It's my top choice in there. Tiz Romantic, something Charles is not. Strongest par plus number in here. Last race was better than it looks on paper. You finally got that? With faster fractions by about, it took that long to kind of settle in. You're like, oh, he said something nice. No, wait a minute. What?
Yeah. What? Wait, what?
What? Racecraft, the 2-horse Charles drops in class in its third start after a layoff. All weather for this one is absolutely the right surface. 14 times, 6 wins. 28 times, so twice the amount on other surfaces, only half the wins, 3. The best distance, this one is the most consistent, also has the most back class in this field. Maintenance workout between starts say the horse should be more fit. Finally, Charles, I'm going to go with a little bit of a long shot. People Force, just like you did that 4-horse, going to drop in its second start after a layoff. And then you go from, an average jockey. I don't really like to make those claims, but you put Luis Saez on, one of the better jockeys in the country, on the 30-1 that does have enough back class to fit with these. Something tells me Luis got a call that this horse in the non-published workouts was looking pretty sharp. What would you think, Charles?
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's what I read into it.
Yeah, that's the way I kind of see it in there too. Maybe a little bit, trying to find something when there's nothing there. Hopefully not. All right, Charles, race 5 in the middle of this 9-race card. They're going to stick to the 1.70 yards on the A-dub.
Yeah, 1.70, all weather again. Love that Tapeta. Oh, God. Claiming price of $8,000. Non-winners are 2 life. Purse is $22,000. This is for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races.
So when we're like a multi-billion-dollar company, like in the year 5084, we're going to go ahead and get that Tapeta for you, green Tapeta for your front and backyard on your farm there, Charles.
No, thank you. It's only supposed to be used only when it's raining, only
1.70 yards when Charles is not complaining about the Tapeta. The stalkers do all right there. They tend to do the best. Only 13% of the time they go wire to wire. And again, there is no benefit to any particular post position, Charles. So some tactical speed, maybe being real fast, like She's So Bearish, might not be the way, but a lot of them have some chance to get to the front.
Yeah, the 4 has an 86% chance of getting that lead. Probably most likely to be true. So I don't know who would be pushing that horse any. Maybe the 7 a little bit. When it comes to simulation odds, we have the 1 at right around 4 to 5. Just under 2 to 1 morning line, not too bad. And then what do we have? Anything else?
That's it, brother. And along with those simulation odds, look at that 1, an 84% chance to go above par, 51% for the 7. Our awesome sauce, as far as your comfort zone is concerned, this 2-horse in here, Charles, Fantastica, looks like it'll be the most comfortable by far with the pace that we project this race to show today. Our pace handicapping shows us that most of these horses want to be middle back. So speed might do better than one might expect in this affair today. Early on, the 4-horse, She's So Bearish, a closer. Ooh, look out. That's a left arrow horse, a closer, who's normal, giddy up and go out of the gate, can steal the race on the front because they're used to closing at the end. And that was about two lengths quicker than everybody else, and really only the 3-horse to clear to its inside. Late speed belongs to Our Awesome Sauce, along with Pass Gera. Those 2 a little bit quicker than everybody else, but a few others that'll be coming hard at the end. Our total pace figures, Charles, we have 4 horses here, the 1, the 4, the 5, and the 7 that are at least 9 points or 2 lengths better than everybody else. Again, if total pace is the way, and I've been chronicling, as I mentioned, for the last week or 2, all of this information in an Excel sheet, and I'm finding total pace to be a very helpful handicapping tool. I'll have more on this data once we hit about 200 races in the books, and then I'll share it with everybody. 1, 4, 5, 7, exact the trifecta box. Charles, we both have those 4.
Yeah, just all in different little orders, but I'm leaning towards that 7. If you remember, if you look back on my pick 5, I took all 4 of these horses. So the 7 is, to me, it's got some tactical speed. Trainer gets 25% first after a claim, 37% when he drops off the claim. So you got some big numbers there for the 7 here. The 1 ran second the last 2 times. This one will be closing more or less. Totally fits with this group. The 5 the hot jockey trainer combo in the last 14 days. Trainer gets 22% with 46 plus days of rest. This horse does have some tactical speed, should be sitting around third or fourth all the way around. And then there's that 4. Blinkers come off today, so they want the horse to relax, and this horse supposedly has speed, but also has great kick in the end. So I just think this horse has just been a little goofy, probably running, and they just want to calm this horse down a little bit. So he totally fits in this group. If he shows the speed, he could be long gone. If he sits real close to somebody else, he can still kick it in at the end.
Number 1, Passaggera, 13-point difference in its speed figure than everybody else last time. Again, everybody got to come up or that one got to come down. Big overlay, as we see in our simulation odds, about 1-2 versus about 8-5. Top par plus more than everybody else combined. This one, its question is first race since July. If it's ready, should romp here. The last time the horse had a similar break, it ran okay. Our awesome sauce, the 7 horse, as Scary says, a 2-horse race between the 1 and the 7. Charles and I seem to agree. As you mentioned, trainer Jose D'Angelo, an up-and-coming trainer. Circle him when you're looking through your past performances. Claim and the drop, 37% angle. That's an alpha angle, almost double Mr. D'Angelo's normal win rate of 20%. 5 horse, Madame Mim, a bunch of works, prepping for its first race since mid-October. I mean, a lot of workouts. The horse should hit the track fit. And you have Saffie Joseph Jr., one of the top trainers down there, with Tyler Gaffleone, one of the best riders down there. I think that combination hits at about 30% so far. Good enough for me. Finally, number 4, She's So Bearish, is that left arrow horse we talked about in the pace setup over here. Closer with the most early speed in the race there. Charles has a 2-length advantage out of the gates. And I think when you stretch out from a sprint to a route, it actually accentuates that speed. So that horse might be more than 2.5 lengths. And really, if they can run proper fractions, it might be difficult to chase that one down. 157 over the 17 over the 14579. That makes up my trifecta for race number 5. Do we have time to do race 6? Probably, right, Charles? Even if they're at the gate, we have time to do race 6.
Yeah.
It says 2 minutes. All right, so we have time to do race number 6. Let's trot out race 6, and it got a marathon going here, bro.
Yeah, 1.316. When was the last time we saw something like that? This is on course, the Tapeta. Purse is $89,000. This is for maiden 4-year-olds and upward.
Yeah, so they were just 3-year-olds a couple days ago. Now they're 4, so they can go these longer distances. 1.316, Charles. You're like, when we haven't seen this before? We don't see it very often. In fact, they've only run 3 races so far. Oddly, early speed has won all of them, and one of them went wire to wire. The other 2, I think, were co-pilots, Charles. You got a win from the rail, a win from post 4 through 7, a win and out, so they can win inside, middle, or out. At least that's what the first 3 races tell us. Charles, oddly, at 1.316 on the all-weather, speed is a big factor. So who's got the most of it?
Well, the 3 is supposed to have the most speed at 92% chance, get that lead at the quarter pole. But I say watch out for that 5. The 5's got some of that sneaky speed. When it comes to simulation odds, we got the 2 at 2-1, and morning line is 6-1. And then, the 7 is just slightly under even money. And we got 3.5-1 morning line on the 7.
None of them with a par plus. Looks like the 4 horse. Champagne One will be the most comfortable with the way this race is projected to go, at least in terms of our simulations for speed. Looking at the pace shape, the 3 horse so far, Hazan not within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line. Otherwise, this race is tilted again towards closers. The 2, the 6, the 7, the 4 wants to be middle out. Speed, again, could have a pivotal role at this 1.316 on the all-weather. That's the case. Look at Hazan there, Charles. 10 points, again, 2 lengths clear. The 1 is scratched. The 2 horse is much slower. The 3 horse should get to the lead. Doesn't have to clear anything to its inside without really working that very hard. Looking at the late pace, War Officer could be way off the pace here, Charles. It may not have all that it takes to get to the end. We'll see. Be Well, a little bit more middle in the pack there. Also, those two about a length quicker than everybody else in the stretch. Our top total pace horse is that 3 horse. Woo, the never close horse in there, Charles. Though you only have 12 points from top to bottom. Again, a block, a trip, a going wide could make the difference between first and worst. We have a little bit different thoughts on this race, surprisingly. You start with the 5 horse Scat 2 Tap. I don't even have that one.
Yeah, because I think this horse is going to be sitting second and pushing that 3. And I think the 3 will just give it up at the end. This horse ran 3rd last time. Trainer gets 25%, 46 plus days of rest. The 7 is my second choice. You got Todd and Jose Ortiz. So that's a great combo, as we all know. And Todd gets 20%, 46 plus days of rest. This one will be closing. This horse is also well bet last time, so look out. The 6 ran even last time. Trainer gets 14% with 46 plus days of rest, another closer. And then the 4 ran second last time. Clement gets 20% with 46 plus days of rest. Another one that has tactical speed, but this one's got Irad. But look at my pick 4. I just hit that all button just to say it all.
I'm going to go quick because they're lining up. Full disclosure, lone EP horse, top par plus. Paco 3rd up in the money, 10-12 at Gulfstream Park. Mamba on 3, all weather. That's the surface for that one. 7, 3, 3, and 1 in one of those seconds. Charles was by a neck, so could have 4 wins there. Maintenance workout between starts. Rock and Roller, the 1 horse, going to coming at the end. And in this race, shouldn't be too far off the pace. What? Is this the right horse race? No, I'm in the wrong race. I'm in race number 2. Excuse me. Force speed figure increases for the 2. Top left race speed figure by 3. Distance not a problem. Hazon was the 6-5 favorite. Has all that early speed on advantage. So there's a reason that horse was 6-5 in its opener. War Officer, most back class, going to be rolling late. Money burner though. Favorite, beaten twice in a row. And Champagne Wand, consistent performer. Irad riding for Clement. 4 nice workouts since the last race. There's my pick for Charles. And then race number 2. I could do 2 races before they can load.
Yeah, no
shadowing for the next race. All right, here we go. Race number 2 about to get started. My pick 4. I have the 1, the 3, the 4, and the 8. Charles on his pick 5 after the 7. Won the opener, has the 7 and the 8.
Yeah.
So after 7 wins, Richard is in trouble. And that one could be one of the favorites right now, right?
No, the 7 is 8-1.
No, he went up in odds right there. That Peter Aiello made line. The 7 is going to blast out there. Charles to try to take the lead, but a lot of horses competing early on. Horse could be stuck going wide around the turn, which could be difficult. But fortunately, the 2 and the 6 kind of settled in and let the 8 horse, the 7 horse, get into the that second position only 2 wide. So pretty good start. The 3 horse, the one that we thought would have a shot to get to the lead. Cartographer is your pace setter right now. They go through the opening quarter in 23.7 seconds. So maybe a little touch quick on the opening quarter. 2 horse right now, Phyllis Fogg sitting in second. And for whatever reason, they've gone to the European front on view in the backside, which absolutely nobody likes. The 1 horse right now sitting in, you got a bunch of horses right now trying to compete for that 4th position. 3 horse continues to hold the lead. Boy, they slowed it down to about 25 seconds in the second half there. The 3 horse continues to set the tone. 6 horse going to try to go wide. Right now, it looks like the 8.
Look at that 8. Look at that 8 coming on the outside.
Yeah, but he's going to have to go really wide to get that job.
He will, but the 7 is going to be between 3, 7, and 8. You watch.
Yeah, well, right now the 3 horse continues to have the lead. The 7 is trying to make up that ground.
Oh, who's
Looks
that
like that 2 horse. Where the hell is he coming from, Charles? Is he going to get there? It's going to be close between the 2 and the 3. I think the 2 is going to screw us both up, Charles. Yep. 2, 3. So Phileas Fogg.
Now, if you were at the track, they made that horse the favorite.
Yeah, he's 2-1. All right, let's go back and look at Phileas Fogg. What did we miss with Phileas Fogg there, Charles? 7-2. All right, so our good friend there, Pete Aiello, making the line. Saw something he liked with that horse. Coming in from Delaware Colonial, say first off the bench, didn't do well there. First off the bench, faded there, but did win its debut, Charles, right there. going wire to wire. This one was on the turf, though. The workout here, the November 7th. Oh, that's a pretty blazing fast workout on the all-weather right there, Charles, no?
Yeah, that's good. But the only good thing I see in this horse is that it did like that turf the last time out.
Mm-hmm. And also these two workouts right here are pretty good. And this one's kind of just an average. Let's get back to business work. This is that bullet and go. Let's see what we got, and then let's just keep them sharp right here. Workout. Looks like the bettors were not all that afraid of this horse either in the times that it's run, right? At all.
No.
So yeah. So he first time off the claim too. So looks like James Toner, when he claims a horse, folks, better circle that horse in your picks right there. So interesting pick there. The 2 horse did come in. I wish that 3 horse would have still hung on there for my pick 4, Charles. Wow. All right, so now we're going to do race number 7. You guys already know who I like in race number 7, right? We talked about that, but you don't know a little bit about the distance and surface. So tell us about that, Charles.
Yeah, it's 5 furlongs. Of course, it has to be on the Tapeta. Optional claiming 50,000. Purse is 39,000. This is for 4-year-olds and upward, which have never started for a claiming price of 35,000 or less since January 4th of 22, or a claiming price of 50,000.
Yeah, made the favorite when he made his move in the stretch. Yeah, to me, that's something that horse racing.
I don't want to talk about all that stuff because they have those syndicates that they place all the big bets, and they're doing it at Gulfstream and at Santa Anita.
Yeah, and Charlestown and Mountaineer.
Yeah, but those are the 2 main ones.
But I feel like if horse racing wants to keep its, you can't have things that look shady, Charles. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
And that looks kind of shady that a horse, gets that late smash of money and wins, and the odds change while the horse is running. I mean, if it goes from, if it ticks down from 9-2 to 4-1, okay. But if it goes from like 4-1 to 2-1, it becomes the betting favorite. It's just like, what's going on here? Right. And I agree with Naira, man. Let's just go ahead and close that window to syndicates 2 minutes to post. That's it.
Right?
It's pretty simple. I think in Naira they do it 5 minutes before post. Anyway, 5 furlongs on that all-weather surface does favor early speed. 35% of the time, they run straight from the quarter-mile marker to the winner's circle. It's a little bit of an inside to outside bias, Charles, but speed is definitely the key factor, and a few of them have speed, but one a little bit more on the inside than the others.
Yeah, we got the 2 at 46% chance of getting that lead at the quarter pole. There's a couple others in there with little speed, probably the 7 at 19% chance, but most likely the 2 is going to have the lead. Excuse me. When it comes to simulation odds, we have
nobody.
Oh, the 7, 6-1, and you got 20-1 morning line. Unless he's going down the stretch and he looks like he's winning move, he'll be 2-1.
Well, he might. It's funny because I think the 3 horse, the 2 horse was a co-favorite, the 3 horse, and he was like 8-10-1 morning line favorite. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to me that, and I thought, if I remember correctly, I thought he was like 7 or 8-1. Right.
Yeah,
right before they
3 was 3 was 10-1. Yeah, they were co-favorites.
And then he ended. That's. And they finished 1-2. I don't know. Maybe they forgot to close the window down there. Somebody took advantage of it. I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on that for race number 3. What maybe we can see if we can throw in a bet as they're coming down the stretch.
Yeah.
So in race number
7,
yes, all of them have a pretty good chance to run over par. So it should be a competitive race. A lot of them should be comfortable with the pace. This looks like a really competitive race until they run down the stretch there, Charles.
Of course.
And then anything can happen, right? Then bettors continue to make bets. Race number 7, our race shape is pretty fair, though. You got 2 horses in here, the 2 and the 3, that have the loan status of an EP and P. So the Sesame Street horses, again, they can get good trips regardless of what they look like on paper. Our early speed destines mission, but look at this, Charles. Everybody except the 6 horse really has an opportunity to get forward. Our late speed, probably where this race is going to be won. Full disclosure, along with the 6 horse, but that one's going to be a little bit too far off the pace, maybe, unless they all giddy up and go. But again, everybody kind of similar late speed. So you can have a bunch of horses running around the track right next to each other, all with similar early speed, all with similar late speed. And for the most part, all with similar total pace figures. This looks like the most wide open race on the card. Charles, tell us why you picked Cotton.
Well, in my pick 4, I took all 4 of my picks. So the 10 is my top choice in this race. Tactical speed ran even last time. Drops in class. Trainer gets 22%. Was second after a claim. So, I think this horse has got an excellent shot, but so does the next 3 shots here. The 3 drops in class. Ran even last time. This one's more of a closer. Luis Saez is the board. The 2 is my third choice. Ran second last time. Third start after a layout. Trainer gets 24% with that angle. The key to this horse is Paco. And then the 9 is my final choice. Ran even. This is a 10-year-old now horse. And last year this horse was in the money 6 out of 9 times. So this horse really hasn't lost a beat, but this is his last year for most tracks is 10. So this is it for him.
So it's the last hurrah. He's going to get the rocking chair tour.
Automatic. They have to give him the rocking chair.
It's not like Kiss where they say they're done touring and then they'll be touring again this time.
They come back again and then say quit and then they're going to come back again.
All right, let's talk about what I think is going to happen in this race. Full disclosure, I think he'll get the W in here. It's that lone EP horse. A lot of flexibility in this field. Top par, you mentioned Paco going to ride on this bad boy. And as I told you last race, in the money, 10 out of 12 at Gulfstream Park. Mamba on 3, all weather. Again, in the money, 7 out of 7. 3 wins, 3 seconds, and a third. But one of those seconds was by this much, so could be 4 out of 7 in the winner's circle on the Tapeta, soon to be Charles's lawn. Does have a good workout between races too. Rock and Roller, the 1 horse coming on at the end for sure. And as we saw in the early pace setup, ain't going to be too far off the front here today. So those late legs can carry him to the winner's circle. And then the old guy, Charles, the 9 horse in there. It wasn't too much different for me on paper than the 10 horse. So they're pretty much a tie for 4th place for me. But Par Plus is better on the 9. Has a little bit more early speed than the 10. Has a little more late speed than the 10. So if you look right here again, when they team up next to each other, you'll see. I can do it this way. They'll be 9 and 10. A little bit more early speed, a little bit more late speed for the 9. So a little bit better Par Plus, a little bit more early speed, a little bit more late speed. So they're basically tie. I'll take that one. I'm going to do trifecta 1, 2, 3, over to 2, 3, over to 1, 2, 3, 9, and of course the 10, since I figured they both kind of fit in together in the same place. 2 races to go, Mr. Charles. Hey, Jay Marco, man, how you been? Good to see you again. Happy New Year to you as well. Hope you had a fantastic holiday with your friends. And just so you know, at the very end of the show, we always end with "See you in the winner's circle." That should be trademarked by our guy there, Jay Marco, because that's where we got that from. So forever indebted to Jay in that regret. All right, Charles, 2 races to go. For the daily double in here. Race number 8.
Wow, it must have rained an awful lot down there on the sunny day down in Florida. It's 5.5 furlongs on that Tapeta. Optional claiming of $35,000. The purse is $39,000. This is for fillies, 3-year-olds, which have not started for a claiming price of $35,000 or less, which have never won a race other than maiden, claiming, or a claiming price of $35,000.
In this sprint on the synthetic surface, Charles, you got to be fast. Early speed wins. Eric Dickerson, the best 29 ever, right? Wouldn't you say he's the best 29 ever? Yes, they 29% go wire to wire. Post positions doesn't matter. They all play fair, Charles. As you mentioned, all of these are 3-year-olds, so a lot of them have that first Lasix on their resumes today. There you see that block L in there, Charles. Early speed, coupled with some Lasix, really could help the early speed here, Charles. And it does look like Lucy's Cookie will be.
Yeah, that's why I think you're going to see a lot of different things today with maidens. But that 3, 73% chance of getting the lead at the quarter pole. I think that's one of them, but look out for the 1. The 1's very fast too.
You want to try to pronounce that one?
No. Anna Julia Forever.
Yeah, it looks a lot more difficult, right? Like all the J's and the U's.
Yeah.
It makes it look like, oh my God, but when you look at it, you're like, wait a minute.
Actually, when you start breaking it down.
Yeah.
Okay, but those 2 I think are going to your speed. When it comes to simulation odds, the 3 is slightly over even money. You got 2 to 1 morning line. You got the 4, same thing, just slightly over even money. You got 4 to 1 morning line. So you got a couple of nice little overlays.
Our pace handicapping tells us even look at it, perfectly balanced race, symmetrical to be sure. 3 in the front, 3 in the back, 2 in the middle, right? With the EP and PC types. Everybody should get the trip they want here, Charles. The 3 horse should be on the lead. The 6 should be right there. The 1, look at that. The only one that might be a little bit out of position is the 2 horse, but it's a PC horse, so it can really be anywhere. So every jockey, every trainer should have their horse exactly where they want their horse to be in this race. Early on, Nikki Jolene and Lucy's Cookie should battle for the lead. I would give the inside horse a little bit of an edge there, especially going into the turn. Coming down the stretch, Art Show Lady a little bit faster than D-Ray D and Anna Julia Forever, a bit of a dip back to there. Our top total pace horse, that designation goes to Art Show Lady and then Lucy's Cookie. A little bit better than everybody else, but Art Show Lady 5 points clear, so 1 length clear of everybody else, according to total pace, Charles. And you started with that one on top.
Yeah, I do like the 4 here. 1 last time, trainer gets 25%, first after a claim. Of course, first time Lasix. And like you said, and it showed on the charts, probably has the best kick out of all of them. And the scores could stay very close with the 1 and the 3 and possibly maybe another horse up there. The 1 is my second choice. I believe this one most likely will be sitting second. 1 last time out, first time Lasix. Trainer gets 28% with that ankle. And then the 3, 1 last time out herself. Definitely going to be the leader, probably most likely at the quarter pole. First time Lasix. You got a hot trainer last 14 days, and you got Irad aboard. So look out. And then the 5 is my final choice here. 1 last time out. Trainer gets 25% first after the claim. And this is the second time with blinkers. And remember, it won last time out. So look out. Totally fits with this group. But I do like the 4 a little bit better than the rest. And I'm going to do a daily double. I had $4 left from my picks, pick 5 and pick 4. And I'm going 4-7.
I am going to start with that 3 horse in there, Charles. It's going to get to the lead. It could be too fast, too early for the most of these. And then it's going to get that dose of Lasix. It's just going to add some octane to that early ability. Art Show Lady, the 4 horse, smashed the field in her debut, Charles. I think it came off the pace a little bit too. And usually, usually maiden winners are pretty close to the front. So when you get a closer, you got to mark that one down too. Has 3 good workouts since that demolishing of other horses. Dr. Ray D smoked the competition the first time that horse tried all weather last out. Does have a pair of maintenance workouts in between. And then Anna Julia Forever, the word that looks more difficult to pronounce than it really is. Ran a little bit faster fractions last time out. 3rd start after a layoff with a saw sharpening workout in between races. I'm going to do exact key box. That 3 horse is going to get to the lead, and he ain't going to give it up with the 1-4-5, just in case I boxed it if it comes in second. Last race of our week, Charles, before tomorrow, Tom and I will be back. We're going to be doing all-weather races at Kempton in England for 4 on Friday. That should go on about 1 o'clock Eastern. The best way to make sure you don't miss anything that we do is to go ahead and hit us up on all of our social sites, Charles, which are
Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. What's another one? Oh, X.
X. Yes. The Des Bryant channel now. And it was a
Oh.
catch against those Packers many, many years ago, for sure.
Mhm.
Of course, hit the subscribe button while you're here. I want to say thank you to everybody who gave us a like on Facebook today. Jay Marco, Paul Barrett, Catherine Moore. Thank you, Catherine. Richard De La Torre, Saudango Uima. I can't read my eyes. My allergies are so messed up and so full of liquid right now. Mustafa, Jose Alberto Rodriguez Iberra, and then Beverly Taylor, of course. Go Browns. Yeah, indeed. Go Browns. Can they? No, they can't get the first. They can't. They last week they had a shot if things went their way to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. Can you believe that? With Joe Flacco coming back.
So I guess they're going to rest Joe Flacco for this week's game.
He's too old, man. He needs the rest, bro.
Yeah, I know.
He's been
But
around.
hey,
he's an old man out there playing with the youngsters.
He's doing it. He's doing it.
Some more youngsters going to be doing it in race 9.
Yeah, because it's so rainy, they have to run on turf now, I guess. What the heck? So 1 mile on turf, maiden claiming 25,000, purse is 32,000. This is for fillies, 3-year-olds, just basic and simple.
Yeah, no 2-year-olds, right? When do they start running? Like around
April? They will start around March and April, somewhere around there.
All right, so at 1 mile on the turf, we talked about this a little bit earlier. Stalkers do good. Unquestionably, the best number 22 in history is Emmitt Smith. There's no question about that, Charles.
Oh, yeah,
22% of the time they go wire to wire. There's a little bit of an inside 3, small penalty. 4 through 7, a small bonus. 8 and out, play fair, Charles. A little bit of speed can help in race number 9. And again, we find one that's a lot faster than the rest.
Yeah, we have the 7 at 82% chance of getting the lead and probably not looking back. And I believe that to be true. And then when it comes to simulation odds, we have, the 7 again, just slightly over 2-1. We have 3-1 morning line. And then we have the 8, just under 2-1 and 6-1 morning line.
And then for the last time this week, our pace handicapping race shape set up here. Look at this, Charles. 3 that have shown some ability to be within the 5 length margin at the finish line. You got a speed horse, a pressure horse, and a closer. The 1, 2, and 7, they have faltered at the end of the races. Let's see what the early speed looks like in this field, Charles. Spirit of Victory, so you have that never close horse. Should be your pace setter in there, Charles. About length and a half quicker than everybody else when they come down the stretch. As far as speed there, wow, lucky. Along with looks lucky to me. So if you're lucky, you'll be coming at the end of this race, Charles. Yeah. And looks lucky, even though it's a closer, might be in front of that 5 horse. So could have a leg up. Although when you look at the total pace, the 8 horse does grade out. Wow, looks lucky to me. Wow, lucky. Spirit of Victory. The only one that doesn't really look like it fits in this race, perhaps, is the 2. So maybe that one will finish 5 lengths off the winner again. Charles, you think? Well, we both have the same 2 horses, just reversed order.
Yeah, I really like the 7 here. They are adding the blinkers today. Of course, first time lace, drops in class. This one has that speed. And if someone happens to go out in front of this horse does have enough tactical speed to sit with them. And guess who's aboard? Paco. Look out.
Do we arrange that charity boxing match between Paco and Irad yet?
We're on it. We're all over it. Mm-hmm. The 6 is my second choice.
Maybe we can get Dana White into it, and they can do like a show, like that UFC. What's it called? The Contender Series. So we can have like a Contender Series between those 2 guys. That would be fun. A trilogy. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
There we go. 6 is my second choice. Ran second last time. Second time with blinkers. So likes the blinkers on. Hot trainer last 14 days. Totally fits with this group. And then the 5 is my third choice. They're at the blinkers also on this horse. First time Lasix. Ran third last time. Luis Saez sticking with this horse. That's a positive sign. And then the 1 drops in class. Ran even. First time Lasix. And, and its trainer, Riley Mott, gets 24%, overall at this track. So look out.
Mm-hmm. All right. I like that 6-horse Charles is my top pick. Skinny Cosmo ran the top last race speed figure, 6 points clear. Again, Andrew Beyer, the godfather of speed figures, says if there is a 3-point differential, that horse has to be highly considered in your picks. Not only did that horse outrun everybody speed figure wise last time, but like many of these 3-year-olds, going to get Lasix today. So it should help that horse improve off that last start. Spirit of Victory is the maiden special weight dropper. It's the biggest drop in all of horse racing. And if it can run back to her debut on turf, that would be good enough. And here, tried all weather in the second start. Didn't seem like it liked that one very much. So second start after a layoff, and it's going to go long for the first time. Number 1, Royal Upstart was a very difficult call for me over the 8-horse Charles. But Royal Upstart is a maiden special weight dropper. Again, the biggest drop in all of horse racing in there. And does have some better workouts than the 8-horse since its debut. The 8-horse does have the designation of the simulation favorite. It is the top total pace horse as well. And if this horse has the typical second race improvement, that could be enough to win this one. I have the trifecta 1-6-7 over the 6-7 over the 1-5-6-7-8 for my last trifecta of this week at a North American track. Again, tomorrow, 1 o'clock, tune in for myself and 22-1 Thomas as we make our international selections at Kempton, all on the all-weather. I don't know if we've done that track before, but Tom and I usually do a good job of sniffing out some long shots overseas. So if you're going to do some early morning betting on Saturday, good thing then to tune in before you prep yourself for the afternoon races. There'll be a good story up in a little bit from Ronaldo on an upcoming race this weekend, one of the big stakes races where he talks about all of the breeding. That'll be found over at horseracingtoday.net. That's the mothership. Charles, Terry, and I will be back Monday and Tuesday for Parks. You and I Wednesday and Thursday for the Florida racing at Tampa Bay Downs and Gulfstream Park. Any final thoughts from you before we part ways this week?
Just like last week, if anybody's want to go to those sales, got any questions, ready to buy or anything like that, shoot me an email and I'll send that to you. And that's about it.
I'm glad you went with an email instead of just shoot me.
Well,
sometimes that's how I feel when my next pick wins the pick 4. That drives me bananas.
Feel half the time, and I'm 2-3 on my basketball. So tonight.
Oh yeah. So who do we got tonight? Yes.
It's going to be who was it? It was Michigan State and James Madison.
Michigan. So are you both of those teams? Are they playing each other?
No, they're not playing each other. Michigan State is playing Penn State.
Uh-huh. So Michigan State minus the points, and then James Madison minus the points.
James Madison, yeah. But I would actually tease them a parlay because James Madison's giving 5, and if you tease it down to 4, that's going to be really nice and safe. They're playing Louisiana, and Michigan State's playing Penn State, and they're giving 13. So if you tease it down 4 points, it's really nice and comfortable there.
Yeah, and if you can get James Franklin to coach the basketball team, for sure they'll choke in the big game. Yeah. Anyway, Charles, that wraps up our North American racing for this week. As always, we certainly hope that no matter what you're doing for this weekend, all of 2024, that all of your resolutions, all of your dreams, all have God's favors, God's blessings, and that they all end up where my horses will end up today. Probably not Charles's, but mine will end up in the
winner's circle.
Indeed. Thanks for joining us. Look forward to doing a little English racing tomorrow. Have a great, tremendous Trent Thursday.